Om. 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 Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect where we were last week, Swami is taking us through the three systems of philosophy, Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and now finally Swami is explaining to us what is Advaita. We will read the last slide which we looked at last week, and then we'll proceed from there. Sairam Kalyani.
What does it signify when it is said, God is the upadana karana, the proximate cause of the cosmos? Proximate cause means the cause which produced the effect. The effect is the cause in another form. It cannot be separate from the cause. Every effect that we notice is but the cause that has assumed a new form. The cosmos is the effect, God is the cause. These statements only stress the fact that the cosmos is but God in another form. When it is argued that the body is limited and subtle, and that it leads one to the cause, that is God, or it was from God that it has evolved and taken shape, the non-dualists would reply that it was God himself who manifested in the form of the cosmos. It may be doubted whether all this multiplicity of things and beings are really God. Yes, it is the truth. All these that the senses cognize, that come into the awareness, are God. There is nothing else but He. Our bodies, minds, intellects, consciousness, all are God.
Thank you very much. We had discussed some of this already. If anyone feels that they would like to discuss any of the points, please speak up. Else, we can proceed.
Sairam, I don't know.
Yes, Sairam.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. There's one question that came up in my mind when reading this. While intuitively it's very easy to understand that the effect has to be somehow tied to the cause, or is of the same nature as a cause. Typically, in the examples, I think last time Auntie gave the example of the spider and the web, which was good, and then there was, I think, Satish, or you gave the example of the water vapor and the water. Now, the examples are just meant to be examples. I understand, cannot expand on it much more, but there is some change in the properties of the effect, meaning the effect does not carry all the properties of the cause. As you would see even in creation, which is the effect of Brahman, does not have all the properties of. As I'm saying that, I'm wondering if I'm stating it correctly. Does it not have, or does it have? So that's something that got me thinking. I don't know if there's a way to understand that or explain that. Is there really a deficiency in some properties in the effect compared to the cause? Meaning, when the anyway, I'll stop there. I hope I've asked the question correctly. It's made sense. If not, I'll repeat it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, I think you have asked the right question. The question which Vishishtadvaitins ask. You know that even though we are from God, we don't exhibit all the qualities of God. I think that's what you are trying to say. So
Yes.
some aspects will be missing. I think that's what you are positing. It is true. It is true that in a particular perspective, things are deficient. So I will open it up for others to comment. So when that is so, how can Advaitins say that the effect is the same as the cause? Whereas the effect doesn't seem to be fully representative of the cause.
I'll
Yes.
also add one other thing. I want to give an quote unquote out onto the same question. Is it the lack of clarity in the perceiving mind that it does not see all the properties of the cause in the effect? Is that possibly the reason? Is what I wanted to also kind of throw out there.
Okay, thank you. Sairam Sai Satish, please go ahead.
So just to put in some thoughts here to Sanjayana's question. So we know, we have discussed this, that everything in this universe has Asti, Bhati, Priyam, that is Satchit Ananda, and Rupa and Nama. So while the essence of Satchit Ananda or Asti, Bhati, Priyam is what is really that being, awareness, and bliss, the essence of anything and everything, because at the two levels, I think Sanjayana also kind of put it into place with the second input that he had, because what the observer perceives is the Rupa and Nama. And if they stop at the level of Rupa and Nama, they see that the cause and effect are differentiated. But if they are able to go beyond the Rupa and Nama, that is the name and the form, beyond what we were discussing this morning also about Maya and all of that, Swarupa and Swabhava part, if they are able to go beyond that Swabhava, then they sense the Swarupa, which is Satchidananda. So that at that level, the cause and effect remains the sugar and water, which has become the syrup to essence it. But I think the limitation comes, like beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So what is it that I am perceiving both within and outside of me? Am I continuously getting limited by the gross and possibly touch the surface of the subtle? Or am I able to travel all the way to the causal and then essence? But I'll pause here, Sarah.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to comment?
Sairam brother, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I understand the question of Sanjay, but I couldn't get clear about what Sai Sati said. But anyway, the Sister Manibhashyam last time used a very good word, apparent transformation. Vivartavadam, she said apparent transformation. Actually, the Brahman didn't transformed into the effect actually. It appeared to the mind. So Brother Sanjay said, oh, it's a mind mistake. This is an analogy. Usually everybody knows the analogy that I am going to say. That is snake appearing on the rope. It is snake that we are seeing now. The effect is a snake actually. The cause is the rope. So due to our, that is a mind, that is all, everything is on the mind. So the mind has that Maya property, mind is that get twisted, So it is to correct the mind is our effort has to be to correct the mind. That is what we don't understand what happened to us, So it is on the mind. So really, effect in the cause is there, but the twist of the mind makes us to feel that the world appears actually. So in the when we go down, we will be still clear. So I would like to know what Sadish was saying, no, brother?
Okay, Sai Satish, I think you have to.
Yeah, Sai Ramana. So, so in general, Brother Shivadas, like Swami says, for any object, it has these attributes of Sat Chit Ananda, that is being, awareness, and
Astipasti
bliss.
Priyam.
Yes, Asti Bhati Priyam. And it has Rupa and Nama, that is the name and form.
Yeah.
But usually, anyone who sees the object or sees the effect, we see the effect in terms of what the name and form that essentially presented that effect. Let me say that I go and bang into a wall. I see the wall as something that ultimately has having a name of the wall and the form of the wall created that effect on me, or I felt the pain on account of that kind of a. If it's a non-living thing, I would not think about too much about it. But let's say it's some other person, then in that case, I am again restricted in the name and form. But whether it is living or non-living, if we travel a little more beyond the gross, anything and everything is that Satchidananda, which is what the Advaitins always perceive. They perceive it at the level of Satchidananda, and the name and form are only incidental for them. And because they are able to relate it at the causal level, there is nothing of two but only one. And so they see the cause and the effect. The effect has nothing but the cause only coming in a different form and a name and presenting itself, but it is what it is.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's correct. That's good. Thank you. That's good.
Sairam,
Yes, Aunt.
what Sanjay Bhai was expressing his doubt is so true. When we look at the manifested world, we think that is so real it is for us, but it is behind that manifestation that if we are able to see the divinity everywhere which exists. That is Isha Midam Sarvam Yad Jagatyam Kinchat. Sorry. Isha Midam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagadya Jagatam. So everywhere that Isha is present, if we are able to go beyond that name and form, which we always see and appreciate and admire, and we stop with it. We have to go beyond that. And this is the expression of the Vaitis. We should not stop there. And Advaitins will say, no, go beyond that. See the divinity. This is superimposed. The whole manifested world is superimposed on the substratum, that is Satchidananda. That if we can go beyond that, then we will be able to see Advaitin's point of view. As I said last time, it's only apparent transformation to our consciousness. Saira.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts?
The idea that the cause is the same as the effect, is that only when it comes to looking at Astibhati Priyam, like in that sense, like at the Atmic level? Because even in the world, like the example of like the spider and the thread coming from the spider, it just looks so different. I mean, in terms of properties, in terms of everything, like the effect seems so very different from the cause. So I don't know, is it only in terms of like when you look at the Atman, then only you can say that the cause is the same as the effect?
Sairam, actually, Sister Manimashyam used the analogy to try. She was trying to explain it, but actually, that example is not not very suitable to speak about the cause and effect business here, actually. Because spider is there. Only the web came out. And the web went in, comes out and goes in. So that is not actually the good example could be the snake appearing on the rope. So when light is brought, the snake vanishes. What remains is the rope. So due to ignorance, something in the mind, Baba used to say in the Sathya Sai Vahini says the Maya is in the mind. So all problem is in the mind. Sanjay suggested that it could be the mind mistake. So it is the mind that wrongly perceives that the Brahman has become the effect like that we see. So when we correct our mind, we will see, oh no, it has not happened like that. It is my vision that makes me to feel like that. I don't know whether I answered Kalyan's question or not. Thank you, Sairam.
Any other thoughts? Okay, maybe I will also try to compliment. Yes, Auntie Mani, you want to say something?
That spider example analogy is only to mention about Nimitta Karana, Upadana Karana. I gave that as Upadana Karana. He is the material with which, from which, and he is the Nimitta Karana also. The spider is the Nimitta Karana, and out of its own body, it is producing, it is trying to weave the web. That analogy suits that there well. Sairam.
Sorry, thank you. Maybe I will just compliment. I think one of the challenges we have, even if we take the spider and web analogy, when we say spider, when we look at a spider, do we know everything about the spider? Do we know whether the web was inside the spider? It is actually, the web is inside the spider also. It just comes out. It just manifests. After all, it's a material. Maybe it is the same material with which it has made. The material existed in the spider. It's fit or whatever we call it. So there is something which is there. It is just that the material is exactly the same. It is just that how it has made it into a web looks slightly so vast, bigger than the spider. But actually that web material with which it made was inside the spider, but we don't see it. The same way, God, even if we say Asti Bhati Priyam, the Nama Rupa is also inside it. It just comes out. Because when we look at a seed, do we see a tree inside the seed? We don't. But Advaitins will say, no, the seed was inside. The tree was inside the tree seed, but you didn't see because your vision was limited. So another analogy can be ocean. In the ocean, there's water, but then there are waves. There are sometimes, water spraying something. All this can happen. But even the spray of water and water droplets are nothing but the ocean. But the thing is, so when we say the cause, we don't have full grasp of the cause. So for example, if the water became water vapor, the water vapor was also part of water. So Advaitins see everything which is manifest in this world as Brahman. Because that's where they use words Rupa and Swabhava. The Swabhava is also applies to this Atman. The creation is nothing but Swabhava of the Atman. So the thing is, we can't say the creation is separate from the Atman, Brahman, because Brahman is creation also. So that's why Advaitins say this: God himself is being perceived by us at different times in different places. But I think that's the snake and the rope thing is something which is non-existent when the mind perceives, or it superimposes something, then that's also an additional factor. But the Advaitins say that is also within the Brahman. Maya is also part of Brahman. Maya is a swabhava of Brahman. But the problem for us is we just get carried away by the Maya alone and forgetting the substratum. So Advaitins say, don't forget the substratum. You have to take the whole thing together. Your vision is limited. Even when we look at the cause, our vision is limited. When we look at the effect also, our vision is limited, which is the mind is the cause. So because of that, we still get confused. So for them, for an Advaitin, everything is real. Everything is Brahman. Even if you see something which is superimposed, you will say that's also Brahman. The Brahma is also Brahman. The delusion is also Brahman. That's the way they will look at. So, there are some staunch Advaitins, they will say there's no concept called Maya in Advaita. There is some school of thought. They will say others ascribed certain aspects of Maya into Advaita. In Advaita, there is no concept called Maya because everything is Brahman. When everything is Brahman, how can there be anything which is other than Brahman in Brahman? So that is one school of thought. So as you can see, Swami has still not brought Maya here. He's just telling everything is Brahman. Advaitins will say God himself who manifested in the form of cosmos. So I think it's like, someone putting on a vesh, one different, take a different form and doing a play, acting. It's the same person. He may wear some different clothes, but the clothes also belong to him. He just wears the same clothes and wear. So it's a very, so our perception of the cause itself is so limited. And then we will say the effect was not existing in the cause. So this was the Advaitins view. Whereas Visishta Advaitin, but later on Swami will say, according to each of us, we perceive different things in different ways. And I think Swami says, all doubts are also good, all answers are also good, because all is Brahman anyway. So with that, I will stop. Sai Satish.
Ramana, just to add to what you are saying, I think at the gross level, we perceive the form. So whether we say spider or the web, the rope, all at the gross level, right? At the subtle level, so you perceive the rupa at the gross level, you perceive the nama at the subtle level, because every time we say the name spider, immediately the name brings the form. So that way, at the subtle level, you essence it. And then at the causal level, that is where when Swami would say in his discourse, Divyatma Swarupalara or Prema Swarupalara, that is where the causal is always being perceived in anything that Swami would see. So again, it comes as a frame of reference. Where am I when I look at the object? And depending on that frame of reference, if I'm at the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya or Anandamaya, depending on where I am at the gross, subtle or causal, it clearly tells how the whole essence. So if I had X-ray vision, I would see everything black and white. So that way, if I'm able to have the Atmic vision, then everything I see as Satchidananda. So clearly it comes back again and again. Where is that, who is the perceiver, even as everything in creation remains as such. So just wanted to add to that, Sairam.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you see, some of the inner organs is cut out and put outside and say this is, for example, they'll say, oh, this is Aruno's, heart, then they'll say it doesn't look like him. Okay, if I take the intestine out and put it, as Sri Sai Baba would do, they will say this doesn't look like Arun. But the intestine was inside me. So then we can say how long it is. We can't even imagine that it was inside. So it is, it all comes out of the Brahman inside. And it just manifests outside, and that's that. Okay, Sairam Sanjay.
Sairam Aruna, thank you. Actually, everyone's explanation and points really helped clarify. I think it also maybe is a reminder that every effect, every cause that we see is actually effect of another cause. If you were to take water vapor as the effect of cause, which is water, water could be the effect of cause, which is ice, and so on and so forth, until and unless you traverse backwards all the way to the original cause. In one place, actually, Swami does say this, talking about the pot and the clay. Swami says, who is the Upadana Karana? It's God who created the clay in the first place, or who provided the clay in the first place. So it is not like the clay is the Upadana Karana for the potter. The clay itself is the Nimitta Karana from God. So maybe we just have to keep traversing backwards along to find the original cause.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Sairam, so we were saying that, so if my understanding is correct, when you say that, when Swami's saying here that the effect is not different from the cause, we're looking at the causal level, or that level, there is no difference between cause and effect. But then at that level, like if we're talking about at the level of Atman, there's no change. So how can there be an effect or a cause? Because cause and effect implies some sort of change or a duality.
The cause and effect itself is duality, you are saying?
Yeah, because if there's only one thing and it's immutable, it cannot be changed. And so how can there be a cause and how can there be an effect?
Effect is the cause. One who sees the effect separately from the cause will see duality. One who sees the effect as the cause, for whom the cause and effect actually all rolled into one. It's only for just to describe to someone who is traveling from Vishishtadvaita to Advaita. This is from Dvaita to Advaita. This is this explanation. But a person who does not see anything as an effect or anything as a cause, there's only one thing exists. Ekam Sat. There's nothing more. It is one and Sat. So for that person, there is no cause, no effect actually. So this explanation is only given to us who are actually in a state of duality. It's only for us to get to that point, this transaction, this explanation. Actually, there's no cause, there's no effect. God is. It does not change. That is the ultimate state of Advaita. But to get to that point, because we're so caught up in duality, it's a huge leap for us. So people contemplate, inquire, to get to that point. And constant repetition of the same information, same thought and contemplation. That's only can reach to that bhava. That's what Swami says, Advaita can only be possible at a state of bhava. You cannot have Kriya Advaita or Padartha Advaita. Padartha means substance, material. You cannot, Padartha will always be different. Even Kriya will be different. There cannot be Advaita. But at the causal level, if you want to put at the Atmic level, you can have Advaita. So, but the thing is, we are trying to take external, as Sai Satish said, we are taking the stula or sukshma and trying to find Advaita, we will not find. That way, Hanuman tells, at the body level, I am your servant. At the mental level, I am your amsa, a part. At the Atmic level, I and you are one. So that experience is only at the Atmic level. And if we try to bring it to a stula level, we will always break down that argument itself. But to be conscious of that at all times is the process of spirituality of the Advaitins. And I've just gone outside the syllabus, I guess, Swami said, because of that. Because we are always tripping up because of Stula Sukshma. At both these, it's not possible to even explain or even understand Advaita.
So at the Stula and Sukshma levels, the cause and the effect are different. Like
Yes.
that's undeniable.
Yes. But that's also part of Brahman. So, so again, if you read the last one, it may be doubted whether all this multiplicity of things and beings are really God. Yes, it is the truth. All these that the senses cognize, that come into awareness, are God. There's nothing else but He. So the thing is, all these bodies, minds, intellects, these are all stula sukshma. But Atman is God, so that's what Swami is trying to say. I think some of it, maybe Swami is explaining a little further. So, okay. But it's good, it's a journey, means the reality is, as Sanjay said, we are all feeling the difference. That's the reality, because we are all using our limited faculties and organs of perception to consider something which is beyond all this. Okay. Shall we? There's no. I think
move to the next.
Just that.
Here, another doubt may arise. Why should God be so many individualized beings? Why should he be so many jivatmas? Will God, who is of one form, manifest himself as so many? How did this happen? If God has transformed himself into the cosmos, he should have subjected himself to change. All things in nature that are by their very composition subject to change suffer both birth and death. And if God has come within the precincts of change, does it mean that he too has to die someday? Has he to undergo change and ultimately end? Keep in mind this point also. Then there's another point to be considered. How much of God, what portion of God became the cosmos?
So Swami himself is asking all the questions.
All the questions, yes.
We'll read them.
He is becoming himself a Purva Pakshi. He is putting himself into others, this thing, and asking the questions from the other side. Okay. Shall I read the Telugu?
Yes, Auntie.
అన్యు భగవంతుడు అప్పుడు భగవంతుడు ఇన్ని జీవాత్మలుగా ఎందుకు ఉండాలి?
Then why should God be present as all these many jivatmas?
అని మరొక సంశయము కలుగుట సహజము.
Another doubt can naturally arise.
ఏకస్వరూపుడగు పరమాత్మ ఇన్ని కోట్ల జీవాత్మలుగా మారునా?
This one God, the Paramatma, Supreme Lord, is of one form. How can he transform himself into many? Does he transform himself into many jivatmas?
అగుచో అది ఎట్లా సంభవించును?
If that's so, how can that happen? How does it happen?
అతడు జగత్తుగా మారి ఉండినచో సవికారుడుగా ఉండవలెను.
So if he is changing into the world, creation, or the universe, then he is one who is prone to change.
సవికార పదార్థమంతియు ప్రకృతిలోనిది.
All that changes are part of creation.
ప్రకృతిగా నుండి సవికారమై ఉండినంతయు జనన మరణాలకు లోనై ఉండును.
Anything which is part of this creation and is given to change, then it has to have birth and death.
భగవంతుడు సవికారుడైన అతడొకనాడు మరణించి తీరును.
If God is also prone to change, then one day he has to die.
మార్పు చెంది తీరును.
He has to keep on changing.
చెందవలెను.
He has to do it.
ఈ విషయమును జ్ఞప్తి పెట్టుకొనుడు.
Keep this in your mind.
మరొక విషయము, భగవంతునిలో ఎంత భాగము జగత్తయ్యను.
Another point of this God, how much of it became this universe?
సాయిరామ్.
I think maybe Kalyani will just read the next slide also, because
Okay, then
it's all too many questions.
Too many questions here.
The Advaitins say, whatever the portion you may allot or guess about, remember this: the cosmos does not exist. It is an illusion. It never is, has been, or will be. The creation of the cosmos, the dissolution of the cosmos, these billions of individuals emerging and merging, all this is but a dream. There is no individualized Jivatma at all, no separated Atma. How can there be billions of Jivatmas? There is only one indivisible, complete, absolute. Like this one sun, reflected as a billion suns in a billion lakes, ponds, and drops of water, the Jivatmas are but reflections of the one in the minds that it shines upon. This is what Bharatiya thought emphasizes most clearly through the Advaitin thinkers. Those who cannot grasp this truth are under the influence of Maya or delusion, it can be said.
Okay,
we'll read the Telugu.
Okay. ఈ విషయము జ్ఞప్తి పెట్టుకును. మరొక విషయం, భగవంతునిలో ఎంత భాగము జగత్తయ్యను, అది ఎంత భాగమైనను దీనిని అద్వైతులు ఇట్లు పలుకుదురు.
Whatever the portion of God it is, Advaitins say this.
ఈ జగత్తు మధ్య దీనికి ఉనికియే లేదు.
This universe, for this there is no real existence.
అదంతయు మాయ.
It's completely Maya. ఈ
జగత్తు జన్మించుట, మరణించుట, ఈ అసంఖ్యాత జీవాత్మలు ఉత్పన్నముగుట, అంతరించుట ఇన్నన్యు స్వప్న సంఘటనలు.
This creation, the birth of this universe, its destruction or its death, and all these countless jivatmas who are born in this, all this is a part of a dream.
జీవాత్మ అనున్నదే లేదు.
There's nothing called jivatma.
ఇక అనేక జీవాత్మలు ఎట్లుండగలవు?
Then how can there be many jivatmas?
కలది ఒకటే, అఖండ పరిపూర్ణ పదార్థము.
There's only one, that which is complete paripurna substance, which is not given to any break.
ఒకే సూర్యుడు అనేక జలాశయములలో ప్రతిబింబించి అనేకుడుగా కనిపించినను,
this one sun whose reflection is seen in many water bodies and seen as many,
కోటాను కోట్ల జల బిందువులందు కోటాను కోట్ల సూర్య బింబములు ప్రతిఫలించినను,
when there are crores of reflections of and crores of the reflections of the sun in crores of water bodies,
అదన్నీ పరిపూర్ణ సూర్య బింబములే అయ్యను.
all that is the same sun.
కలదొకే బింబమైనట్లు,
just as there's only one object,
జీవాత్మలన్నీ వేర్వేరు మానసములందు దీపించు ప్రతిఫల రూపములు.
So all the jivatmas are those that are reflected in various minds.
ఈ విభిన్న మానసములన్నీ విభిన్న జల బిందువుల వలె.
All these differentiated minds are nothing but differentiated water bodies.
ఆ యొక్క వస్తువునే ప్రతిబింబించుచుండును.
And that one thing is reflected in all of this.
ఈ విభిన్న జీవ రూపములలో ఆ ఒక్క భగవంతుడే ప్రతిఫలించుచున్నాడని.
In this various differentiated forms are nothing but the reflection of the same one God.
భారతీయ పరమార్థమైన అద్వైతము సుస్పష్టముగా చెప్పుచున్నది.
The Advaita of the Bharatiya Paramartha, or supreme principle of Bharatiyas, clearly states.
దీనికి మార్పు లేదు.
There is no no opposition.
కాదు, దానిని అర్థము చేసుకునవలన జీవులు మాయకు లొంగిన వారలనే చెప్పవచ్చును.
If all those who are unable to understand this are jivas who are caught in the maya, that's what can be said.
Yeah, that's it. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you very much. So Swami is talking about Swami has introduced the maya concept last. So he's saying everything is a dream. Whatever we perceive is a dream, because it's a reflection in multiplicities of mind. But God is only one. So I will stop here. If anyone would like to discuss any of the points. Maybe we can flip the previous. Yes, Sairam Sanjay.
Sairam, no, I really like the last line Swami says here. It's like literally and figuratively under Maya, right? I thought it might be good to go through the questions, because sometimes even do we have those questions is a reflection of whether we've understood the subject matter until this far. So it might be good to understand the question to see, do I have the same question? Have I come up to the point where I have that question yet? Because without understanding if I have that question, I think the answers that Swami gives may not even
make full sense. Yes.
Yes. So maybe we can spend some time on the previous slide, if it's okay.
Yes. Why should God be so many individualized beings?
If God has transformed himself to cosmos, he should have been subjected to himself to change. So these questions always arise. This is a part of, some people have this opinion about God transforming himself into this cosmos. And if he is transformed, then there should be change. And all things which are in nature, they change. So also, God also should change and suffer both birth and death. That's the opinion of some of the people. That question arises in everybody's mind. And yeah.
So this Ekoham Bahushyam, I think that's also in the Vedas, okay?
Yeah.
Let me become many, or something like that, I am one and let me be many. This is also mentioned, but why should God do this?
Yeah, that's another question.
So I have a question here. So as Swami said in the answers, he said it's all a reflected consciousness in the minds. As many minds, that many reflected consciousness, right?
Yes.
So can we ask the question, why so many minds?
Very.
Actually, it is a very, very good question, actually. How, from where the minds came and so many things. So there are multiplicity of minds is assumed here. So in the minds, the Brahman is reflected. Okay. So first of all, everybody can ask, how come the minds, from where the minds came? So still, the analogy, as we have been discussing, these analogies are limited. No, we cannot give a full exact analogy to explain the truth. No, because we are in the effect status. So, but Bhagavan, what the Advaitins give this example to say is, because we every day to day life, we see many people. We see many people with different levels of mind. That's what the question is also, no? So some people, we see a lot of different types of people in this world. So it is to help us to understand this example is given. So it is the purpose behind is to emphasize there's only one thing that exists. That is the main purpose of this analogy. So, so before we go to that real understanding, till up to now, till we understand the full knowledge or jnana, we have temporarily assumed the Brahman reflected Brahman, as brother said, we say, say, let us assume it that there are multiplicity of minds. It is God himself, but say it is reflected, minds are thrown out. Yeah, then he reflects in the minds and to appear as many jivatmas. But even this is an analogy, not full truth actually. So the yeah, we will discuss and we will come to know more about the. Thank you, sir. I will stop with this one.
Thank you. Yes, Sairam Sai Satish.
Sorry, Amanda. I was just going to go into the three akashas. So we have the Bhutakasha, Chittakasha, and Chidakasha. So, of course, Bhutakasha, because it is made of the Panchabhutas, very much perceivable, we can see, and all of that makes sense in a tangible way, we are able to see. Now, when we go to Chittakasha, that is where I'm trying to use again the ocean, the wave, and the mist. So we have the mist, which represents the Bhutakasha. The wave emerges, so the wave takes a akara and emerges from the ocean. And every time, that's where the emerge and merge happens. That is where the mind, so if we go down the path of the mind and the different things that subtler than the mind is the ahankara. So every time there is from the awareness, there is a separation. So the one is becoming two, and then that whole multiplicity happens. So every time the chit and akasha come, creating the chittakasha. So I'm just trying to see, yeah, basically when the chida, so when through the process of the chida bhasa, you get the chittakasha, right? So the many minds comes because of when the wave emerges, you have the mind created, and of course it further leads to the mist, or like what Swami would say, so long as the finger exists, you have the nail coming out. So every time there is a separation from the cause, the subtle and the gross emerge, and at the subtle level you have the chittakasha come, and the gross level you have the bhutakasha come. So the many minds, again, if you see, like Swami would also talk of the cosmic mind and so on. So that is where I think at the subtle realm, like many times, even as somebody is walking on the street, we are looking at them, they turn back and look. It's all interconnectedness of that cosmic mind, which we are all part of. So that is where I'm trying to see every time there is a separation and an akara that comes into place, then you have the realm of the Chittakasha created and a consequence of the Bhutakasha coming in. But if you're staying at the realm of the ocean and that kind of a thing where the Advaitan would always establish themselves at the level of the ocean and yeah, Chidakasha level, then yeah, there also still the Akasha is still there. So there is kind of space and all of that coming into. But if they are at, yeah, maybe they have to go back to Satchidanand, then I think, yeah, it'll be more, yeah, it may give a way as to how the awareness is now becoming into another entity. But I'll pause here. I don't know if I answered the things I know.
Okay, thank you, Sai Satish. Yes, Sister Shivani.
Sai Ram, you know what? How I am interpreting this in my life. It's just, it reminds me like how Swami has said unity is divinity, that, you know, there's one source, divine source, which is binding all of us. So I'm thinking, if we all are basically connected, then if there's one source and they're different reflection of that sun, then we all can communicate without communicating with each other. Without saying the words, if we all are connected, if we become so pure, we don't need any cell phone, anything. We can still communicate, you know, what other person is thinking or saying, because we all are so connected. So we don't need this telecommunication or anything. It's just you sit at home and you said, oh, this is a question, and Auntie's answering wherever she's sitting, Auntie Manibhasan, because we have become so pure. And from the source, we all are getting that we are reflection, or we are that, I don't know, I'm just thinking the practical. It becomes so pure that without using any gadget, I can communicate with Kalyani, Auntie Mani, Brother Aruna, without. So you will understand my question without I'm saying the words out there. That's how I'm thinking. Sorry.
Sai Ram, sister. Anyone else would like to comment on this? Why there are no many minds? Okay. Yes, that's a question.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
I'll try my best to explain why there are so many minds. When creation took place, Ekoham Bhausyam, all the Panchabhutas came out, Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, Antakarana, all were created. And from the Sattvic point of view, the Antakarana was created, minds were created. When minds were created, all human beings also came into existence with their mind, intellect, and body, mind, intellect together. So the mind, as the reflection of that consciousness in each one of us, in our minds as a mirror, it depended on the quality of the surface of the mirror. If the surface is dirty, the reflection is not, it cannot be seen. If the surface is very clean, a clear picture of the consciousness can be seen. So the minds were created along with the bodies. So I think that creation theory explains why so many minds came into existence. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Auntie, thank you. Anyone else would like to comment? Why many minds?
Brother, can
Yes.
I
Yes. You're not very clear, brother.
talk about this what portion of God business? Actually, I am far away from you, Canada. No, that's a.
No, your voice is not clear.
Can you hear me or not?
No, not clear.
Okay, I'll wait. I will wait for a while, brother. Okay, go
Although
ahead.
maybe if you can turn off your video for the brief time, maybe your bandwidth may bring the audio clearer.
Okay.
Maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Then thank
Much
you,
better.
brother Same, I think, status. I am I audible now, right now?
Yes, there is better,
Audible?
better.
Better. Okay. So let me wait for some time. Actually, fluctuating, the
Yes,
internet.
it is. It
Okay.
is. It is. So I think brother wants to discuss the next question, but maybe I think this Swami has introduced this concept of dream. In one of our dreams, in every dream of ours, if we see, we may find that in our dream that many people appear. And in the dream, we will know that we are separate, and then the other people are separate also, we will know. And in the dream, we will think that the other person is also thinking something. So I think this was the experience of Janaka, when he thought, oh, in my dream, I was thinking others are behaving differently. But where did all these people go? All these people actually went away into me only. Or they came from me and they went back into me. So then when he woke up and then he's questioning, in this waking state also, isn't that also a dream? It's a waking dream. I may think, that person is different from me and that person is thinking and so on. So, but the reality is each of us are actually doing the same thing. And this is what the Advaitins felt. And even if the other person had a mind, it's nothing but my own mind. But my own mind playing the trick and saying it's a different thought, different behavior. But as long as we are in this dream, if we don't realize that it's a dream, we will think it's reality. So the Advaitins tried to remind themselves all the time that that's also me thinking. So that is one of the reasons why very devotees, if anyone behaves in any way, they will think it's the Lord who is behaving like that. So that way they will see if 100 people functioning in different ways, they will think it's the same Lord who is doing it. It's the same Lord with the same thought he's doing, or different thoughts even. So I think this multiplicity is actually our own, it's only in our own mind, is what we can say. In reality, there is not multiplicity even in the minds. That's what the Advaitin would say, because it's only that super mind which actually is thinking, but we think it is different minds. So there are actually not too many minds also, but just the way there are many jivatmas, there are many minds also. So both of them are only seeming apparent because of our forgetting the fact that it's all one. If we remember that it's all one, then it is one. That's all I can say, but there are actually not too many minds, just the way there are not too many jivatmas. So Swami is also tricking us actually. You see, he said there are no, later on he will say there are no jivatmas. Even the jivatmas don't exist. When the jivatmas don't exist, the minds also don't exist. So I will stop there, Sanjay. I think our limited...
So in practice, I'm sorry, I'm just babbling here. So in practical sense, anytime anything happens, just tell yourself, there's nothing. It's a dream. We are just in a dream. Just live. Don't react to anything. Right?
Yes.
I'm saying in the practical sense, how I know it will take birds and birds to reach the level where you can say, if this is a dream, this is all the creator's creation. We are nothing. Like we are in the sense who I'm taking we. So, but in practical sense, any time you see dualism, just also yourself, as you said, Janaka, this is a dream. Do not worry about, do not think about anything. Just live, just pass by and just, I don't know. I don't know how that will look like. It looks like I'm a robot. I'm just walking and nothing is happening. I don't know how to think. I'm just a little being practical. How can I start from this today to think, Shivani, this is just a dream?
So there's a concept called lucid dreaming, sister. There are people, while dreaming, they know that they are dreaming and they just still dream. But the dream does not affect them because they are conscious that it's a dream.
Oh.
So we can practice and come and tell us how you feel. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Araman, I was just going to use that example of what Swami said about a man walking into a hall of mirrors, and he sees himself in all the mirrors, and he's so very happy seeing all of that, and he walks out happy. Whereas a dog comes into that same hall of mirrors, and it sees it starts barking, and it starts seeing its reflection in all those mirrors also start barking. It gets highly agitated on account of it. It bangs on one of those mirrors, and that mirror breaks, it falls down, it creates more pieces, and it sees more dogs barking back at itself. And then when it does, which again sets into a panic reaction, and then after repeated this thing, it breaks all the mirrors and see more and more of dogs coming, and then it just runs out of that hall in panic. So from a day-to-day thing, it's again the same thing. Am I able to? I think in our case, it's a little more tangible. Swami has made it. If I'm able to see that person, any person whom I approach, as this is my Swami, though in certain situations it may be a little more of a ask, but if we can do that really, then it is that essencing that in a practical way of seeing my Swami dressed as, whether it's a child or a family member or a friend or an office colleague or however it is my Swami, it is my, that kind of a feeling would help one in a practical sense to go a little more. It is, if anybody even a tough situation comes, it's my Swami only coming. That's what Tana was earlier referring to. Radha would say her sister when Chandrika, I forget her name, troubles her, she'll say, "Oh Krishna, why are you troubling me?" So that kind of a situation where anything and everything thrown, it's like, oh, it's just coming from my Swami, so why do I have to worry? It's the same thing. So I would just go along that path, which makes it like, okay, I just enjoy the situation coming across because it's my reflection in the mirror, and I don't get perturbed by throwing a fit and then that break the mirrors and create a it's again the same thing, whether I perceive the unity in the diversity or I perceive the diversity in the unity, which will say how what is the way I'm working through life.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Thank you. Yes, Sanjay.
Sorry, somebody else wanted to speak. Please go ahead.
You are audible, but you are breaking so much. We can't hear the sentence.
Audible?
You're audible, but there is still some fluctuation.
No, I am audible. My question is.
Yeah, now you are sounding audible.
Oh, okay. Don't worry.
Then you can speak. Try now. You
Okay. Sanjay, go ahead. But you know what? Sadish brother Sadish said. That's okay. No, don't.
Yeah, it's a bit bad, brother. Sorry. Yes, Sanjay, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to, I think you made a really insightful comment, a little bit of a digression from the actual discussion, but how bhakti also can lead to the same knowledge. Being able to see the Lord in everyone, everything that's happening, right? That's a very nice statement. So in essence, I think from everything that was shared, so it's the lack of knowledge or the ajnana that gives rise to the pots of water in the first place. And then the pots of water make it seem as though there is multiplicity. Is that correct?
Yeah, so my understanding, it's as far as bhakti goes, see, the thing is, when we say I am this limited self is in everyone, it's a bit of a problem, and it's not correct also. Whereas the Paramatman is in everything is the right way to go about. So that is why bhakti is a very easy way to get to there, because it is the limited Atman is not everywhere. There's little I, ahankara, which we think I am separate, it's a little, it is impossible to figure that out unless we expand ourselves to be identifying ourselves with Brahman. But the devotee will see everything as God. So for him, it's easy to understand Advaita because he would say everything is God. So that's why bhakti becomes an easier means for all of us who are caught in Dvaita to experience that unity of that oneness of the Lord.
Correct. Yeah, thank you. And also the example Satish mentioned also is a good one. I think that's where the man who enters a room of mirrors is aware that they're all different mirrors and it's his form that's reflected, whereas a dog that is not aware that the mirror has such properties thinks there are different dogs and so gets worked up on and sees the different dogs and gets agitated. So that also helped. Thank you.
So I think a practical example is we should ask, am I behaving like a dog or am I behaving like a man?
Say it again. Say it again.
We should, at every point, we should ask ourselves, am I behaving like a dog or am I behaving like a man?
Most of the time, dog. You know what? I'm just thinking. That's why Swami has said the basis of spirituality is self-confidence. Once you know confidence, self-confidence, Atmavishwas, right? Once you know who you are, what this is, satisfaction, sacrifice, everything just falls in place. If you just know Atmavishwas, what that is. Now I understand Swami's teaching better. Why he said that has to be the first step, self-confidence.
Exactly. The spirituality doesn't start before.
Bhagawan's smart.
So, yes, Sister Vani.
I have a question. So when we realize that we are one with God and we are this one and the same, and in the dualism we say it's liberation. Is the concept of liberation still exist in this Advaitins? That's my question.
Okay, very good question, sister. So what is liberation for Advaitins is, I think, Sister Vani's question. Do they have a concept called liberation? Yes, Brother Sivadas.
Yeah, let me try. Switched over and came back.
Very good, very good.
This question. Okay, Sadish and for the mirror question, So Baba say 3 minus 1 is
1.
No? So when the mind is removed, when there is a mind, there's an object and image and mind. 3 things are there. When the mind is removed, only one exists because no reflection or image. So that answers, that's one thing. Now, Sister Vani's question now, that is what it is here. I think the next slide, because we are the basis of this dream. Because when there's a dream, there must be a basis. Baba explains that. So we have to go to our basis. We feel that we are the base. We are that. We are that. So when we feel we are that, as Brother Arno said, even the dream has meaning to us. And the dream, we can enjoy the dream also, if we want to say, because it is our own creation. It is our own creation, like our own children. So whatever the people do mistake or anything, we don't feel it, because that is our dream. It is our thoughts. Like Baba said in the Sai Speaks, in the letter volumes, Baba says, reaction, reflection, resound. Whatever that we see outside is our own reflection, reaction, and resound. So there is nothing outside. What is inside is reflected outside. So there are some, assume that there are vasanas, and that vasanas, the reflection of vasanas that we see outside. So how the vasanas get removed, That's the question now. So to get one way is to deny believe in that this is a dream. Then automatically vasanas removed and we become clear, we have become that. Or else, who am I? That's what Brother Sadish used to, Brother Sadish used to say, who am I inquiry. When we go, Bhavan saying this one in the volumes. So when we go and when we try to understand that we are the aham. Bhavan said, in the time of creation, the first word or the first urge is aham. Only after that the word om came. So the aham. So when we go to the aham state, then everything is clear. So we have to be always keep our mind that we are that aham. So when we feel that we are the aham, and whatever that we see is, it is so long as we get purified, we treat this very nicely, and treat the whole thing, whether man makes mistakes or when man makes good, love them and everything. This is your own creation. So who am I inquiry, when we are in that one, then there's no issue. So the liberation, as Sister Vani asked, the liberation is to delve into ourselves and find the answer, who am I? And when I feel that I am that it will ultimately release us from this bondage. Was I audible or not?
Yes, very clear, brother.
Okay, thank you, Saira.
Thank you. So, Sister Vani, so experiencing that state of Advaita is the liberation. We may believe in it, we may work towards it, but the day we experiencing it, it becomes an experiential reality. I think that's considered moksha, as Brother Sivadas has nicely explained.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So do we want to discuss the other questions? Will God, who is in one form, manifest himself as so many? How did this happen? If God transformed, yes, somebody wants to say something. He should have subjected himself so God doesn't undergo change. Or does he go? Will he die one day? I think our concept of God will die one day.
This is Parinamavada, what they others think. This is called parinama, complete transformation. So if God is also subjected to change, then he will have to end. There is birth and death for God also. Some people think that Parinamavada is true. And some people say, no, it is not correct. It is Vivartavada. It's only the apparent transformation of the Lord. And coming to that question of many minds and many forms, Shankaracharya has said that there are three truths. One is Paramarthika Satya, one is Vyavaharika Satya, and the other one is Pratibhasika Satya. We are living in Vyavaharika Satya, that is transactional reality. So if we have to rise to that level of absolute truth, Paramarthika Satya, then we have to remember that it's only a true, it's a dream. It's all dream is going to end, and one day we'll realize that supreme Paramatman. That if we have to have that this so many forms have come, so many names have come, how did it come? How did it happen? Maybe that Vyavaharika Satya, that is a transactional truth, reality, explains that. And I think to get over this situation and to reach that state, to reach that Paramarthika Satya, that is Advaita. Now we are in the Dvaita state. Only when we reach that Advaita state, then there is only one truth. There is no form, no name. All these things can be realized. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. Yes,
Sai
Sanjay.
Ram, brother. So
Yes,
the
brother.
one important point, I think in the next line, that is that I am repeating it.
Kalyani, go to the next slide.
When I, yeah.
Yes.
So when I see when I dream, there must be a basis for a dream. No, there must be a person to dream it. So when we dream this world, when we see the world as a dream, there must be a person who dreams it. So without a basis, without a sound basis, the dream cannot come. That's what Bhagawan is saying here. So know that you are the dreamer. You know that you are the basis from which the dream comes. So that is what we were saying, that from the effect we go to the cause, or from the object we go to the subject. Or as I am repeating again, the aham, the feeling that you are that original. So that helps us to clear these many things, I think. And I would like to say something about brother about this. What portion of Brahman transformed, if there is actual transformation. But in the Sutra Vahini, Bhagavan said, Purusha Suktam, one Padosya Vishwabhudani. I searched for the Vidsa Sloha, third line, and the last line was Tribadashya Amritam Divi.
Udait Purusha.
Tribadashya Amritam Divi.
Yeah.
So there is a widespread belief, Bhagavan explained in the Sutravahini, that only 1/4 changed into actual world. So 3/4 remains as Amirdam. So that is one way, that is what portion, what portion of that Brahman changed into world, that is the question. And also Shankaracharya in his Bhashyam, I read, 1/100th of Brahman changed into a word. So Bhagavan says, whatever the portion you may argue, the Brahman change, what portion or whatever it is, but it is not real. The cosmos is not real. Cosmos is a dream. Bhagavan is saying that one. So you are the basis. So try to understand that you are that, and out of which this dream comes. So love everybody. Treat everybody. Don't keep the non-violence principle always, because it is your reflection, and you are seeing that if you hurt it, and you will get hurt. So that is what Bhagawan is trying to explain. This I will stop with this one. I am going too much sometimes. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Yes, Sanjay, I think you were about to say something.
Yeah, Sairam, if we could go back to the previous slide, please.
Okay.
Sorry. Swami talks about change here, and change is always in the context of time, is always perceived in the context of time, right?
Yes.
But, and I'm still catching up on some of the old episodes. Has Swami introduced the concept of time also having been created?
Swami has not mentioned it yet, Sanjay, based on my recollection of all the chapters we have gone through yet.
Okay, okay. I wonder if that is something that gives rise to a question as to if time itself, if time itself was created, then the change that is perceived against that time, is it real?
Yeah, so I think here Swami has not mentioned, but now that anyone else would like to comment on this question? Okay, maybe I will go first. See, the thing is, in the time continuum, everything is present actually. Only when we look at one point in time and ignore the other points in time, when our vision, perception changes, we see change. A person who can see across all time dimensions, the entire continuum, they will see everything as happening in the present. One of the examples Swami gives is if you go to the road street and see there are cars passing, and whenever a car passes you there, you right away see, okay, oh, it's moving on. It just came, it moved on. But whereas if you climb a building which is, few 100 feet tall, you can actually see cars coming, miles ahead and cars going miles away. Because you are, for you at that point in time, everything is present. It is just that you are aware that, it is just moving from one point to another. So there's no real change. Even then also you can posit there is a change because of the activities which happen in this world. But for the person, everything is present. There are different changes happening, different manifestations happening. But for that person, everything is present. So I think that Swami has mentioned about Kala, Aya Kala Atita Aya Namaha. As related to that, but I will stop here. But change generally is, as you have rightly pointed out, it depends time. Yes, Sairam sister.
Sairam, brother, in the first slides, I'm just contemplating on that, where Swami says all the effect is we have to understand is because of this cause, right? So why Swami is asking us to understand that all the effects are cause kind of to come to one point? That is the reason. What is there to why I know we have to take from Dvaita to Advaita. That is the reason Swami is saying.
Thank you, sister. Sister is asking, okay, now why is Swami going through all this trouble? Okay, what is the purpose? Okay. So anyone would like to comment? Okay, sister, maybe no one is volunteering, so I will stick my neck out. The reality in this world is we are all functioning at the level of our body. At the body, it's all Dvaita. And we are so caught up in our bodily activities, bodily relationships, bodily accumulations, and so on. That's where most of our 90% of our time is spent. Swami wants us to move away, rise above the body level to mind. That's a Vishishtadvaita. In Vishishtadvaita, at the mental level also, there are still some differences. We are not yet out of the woods. We still suffer. We are unable to be happy all the time, continuously. Some problem is plaguing us, some challenges. So then he says you have to rise above that also, which is Advaita state, which is think that you are the Atman. And the thing is, so whole idea, see, everywhere Swami is only telling, realize that you are Atman. Don't think that you are the body. Don't think that you are the mind. Rise up. Because once we get to that point, our life will be a bit more peaceful. Not with the pieces which the mirror breaks into. So
Very nice.
the whole idea is, the thing is, it is not something which we have to attain sometime in the future. Swami says Advaita state is already present because you are the Atman, but you are forgetting it all the time, and then you again and again falling into the pit and crying, oh, why this suffering? Swami, please, all of us pray, Swami, do something, so you have to save us, because we are in the body and the mind. See, we have to rise and remind ourselves that we are the Atman. We are at all times and through all of our actions. Then we will not be as helpless as we feel in different circumstances. And we will not be losing our peace of mind. So the whole idea is for us to understand again and again that we are the Atman. So that is the process of Advaita, because even Visishta Advaita may not give you permanent happiness, permanent joy, because then you will feel, oh, the Lord is missing, I can't see the Lord, all that. He says, rise above that also and identify yourself as Atman, and the Atman is nothing but the Lord. See, if we can get to that point, then we will be able to live in this world peacefully. We will respond to all situations appropriately, but without ourselves being perturbed, troubled, become desperate, become depressed, become overcome with emotions. Emotions may come, but we will look at the emotions which come in us also and laugh. Oh, I am angry now. Oh, I am feeling sad now. Oh, I have pain. But you'll never forget that you are the Atman. So the whole idea is just that. Realize that you are Atman. And once you know that you are Atman, that Atman is nothing but a spark of the Lord. And the same spark is present in everyone. If we consciously are aware at all times with this feeling, nothing in this world will trouble us so much that we become desperate or weak or power, that is the whole idea. And Swami is trying to give us, Swami is making us, he's teaching us to fish, not supplying fish. It's like that, He wants us to help ourselves. And that's the whole idea, is my understanding. So I will stop there.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a beautiful explanation, because Swami will talk about that effect. So, okay, now I got it. Thank you.
So the cause is inside you, but you're only catching the effect. That's what Swami said.
Yes. So that is ultimately attaining the eternal peace, kind of, right?
Yes.
So that will not, you will not be affected by the anything in the world. So, okay, great. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Shanti, today we in our discourse when we studied at the center, Shanti Tulyam Tapo Nasti. There's no tapas like Shanti. And I'll stop there. And yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add another example to that. I think it's Swami is trying to wake us up from the dream where we are constantly being chased by a tiger and panicking from that, right? We are constantly huffing and puffing, running away from the tiger, and you're sweating and afraid and fear and all that stuff, looking for safety somewhere. And in essence, that is what is happening here. I think, unbeknownst to us, we are constantly chasing that absence of fear, except that we're chasing for it the wrong places. And Swami is trying to guide us in the right direction to look for it in the right place with clear understanding of what we truly are.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. Yeah, Swami is, today we were studying one Krishna Janmashtami discourse, in which Swami is talking about Prahlada. When we talk about fear, I was reminded, he's saying when all the demons were attacking Prahlada, he was just chanting, calling out to Narayana, and Swami says, he was not afflicted by fear. Bayakampa sametudu kaadu. He was not at all touched by fear, which is what it is. And so I will stop there. It's 4:31. A nice discussion. I think we have enough things to contemplate on. And we will again meet next week to continue our journey. Sai Ram, everyone. We will close with Samasta Loka prayer. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.
Hi, Ram. Thank you.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.